Hi, Kelvin Hagen here with HagenInternational.info and an internet lifestyle moment. Tonight I'm sitting here outside my RV. Tomorrow our part's going to be in. We're going to get back on the road, thank goodness. Nothing like being on some blacktop for a couple of days stuck. To really have you focusing in and spending some time really zooming in on who you are and what's important in your life. And you know, one of the books I'm reading right now is by one of my personal friends and spiritual teacher, Michael Beckwith. You guys may recognize him, you may not, but it's amazing. This book is called Spiritual Liberation. And dudettes, everybody, this is such an amazing book and such an amazing man with so much love for humanity. And I'm going to read to you guys a moment in this book right here, okay? And it says, be at peace with your evolving consciousness. Evolving consciousness. I like that. The idea that we are constantly changing and growing. It says, a conscious realization of our innate oneness with the ineffable does not mean that we will never make a mistake again. Even enlightened beings burn their bagels once in a while. It's important to maintain a sense of humor because this is how you will stop being afraid of making a mistake. You'll make some, but so what? That's why they're called mistakes. Humor relaxes the uptight ego. You get a new cue from your inner self and simply say, I missed my cue, so let's do a second take. Your willingness to take the risk of making a mistake is actually an expression of courage and willingness to grow from them. Mistakes are about getting the blessing in the lesson and the lesson in the blessing. And this is just one little piece inside this book of just wonderful moments. And what I want to say is that, you know, as a parent, as a dad, with two amazing boys, Ryder and Asher, you guys have seen them all around Facebook with us, is I realize I make a lot of mistakes. You know, my goal as a parent is to make different mistakes than my parents make. You know, it's like I said to myself, I said, a successful parent is one that screws up their kids in a wholly different way than their own parents screwed them up. And that means so much. And I used to say that kiddingly, but I also meant it, is that the mistakes we make, we learn from. And if we're really clever, we can learn from the mistakes other people make and leverage them towards our success. But let's take being how does this relate to my business? Well, being a parent, being a leader, helping to people to develop people into being successful in business, in home marketing, in their home business, affiliate marketing, MLM business. This is all about developing leaders. And how do you develop leaders? By example. So when I make a mistake or I do something that's wrong with my kids, you know, sometimes the hardest thing to do is to say to my sons, either Ryder or Asher, I'm sorry, I was wrong. I had some stress going on, and I apologize. That was not the right thing for me to do. And or when they point out to me something, they make good sense. Oh, they're smart boys, right? They think outside the box. I love that, right? But when you're a kid that thinks outside the box, get ready for it because it's going to come back and hit you upside the head. I'll tell you that. So what I want to say here is that to be able to admit the mistakes to those people you're raising, the kids. Well, in a business like this, we're teaching and raising people up. Kelly and I spend a lot of time teaching people, mindset teaching and actual how-to treatings in how to do a business and how to live their life in a way that's going to be more prosperable. Prosperable? Probably not a word. More prosperous than they had before, to help them find their whys and help their dreams. Well, that to me sounds an awful lot like parenting. And one of my mentors, Brad Hager, used to say that when you brought somebody into the business, it was basically like you just had a kid. And you can't just bring them in and leave them to scramble. And you can't just bring them in and then throw a bunch of other things at them they got to spend a bunch of money on before they can make any money. You got to keep it simple. Like when they first start walking, you want them to walk on the carpet, away from the big rocks and the jagged edges. Well, it's the same thing with marketing or anything else. Have I made mistakes? You bet I have. I've made mistakes by blindly following people into whatever they do, wherever they go. And we were with a mentor and we did that for a while. And whatever he went into, we just jumped in and did it, both feet, without thinking. Well, I want to think about it. And I like to think that the people that I'm bringing into my business and that I'm raising in my business, in our image, are also going to stop and think about what's going to work for them. What do we need to do? Where are we going? What is my whys? And what is the direction I want to be in this business? Am I going to be somebody who wants to do a bunch of free marketing, or somebody that's prepared to do a bunch of paid marketing? What direction am I going? And will the mentors and the teams I've signed up with take me in the direction I need to go in order to grow? Well, with parents that kids we give birth to, we don't have that. They don't necessarily have that choice. And in any kind of business, you do. You have the choice of looking at who you're working with. But people, remember, when you're going into business with somebody, you're going into a relationship where they are going to be helping to guide you. Well, I like to think that I leave everybody's life a little better than I touched it. I know that's not true because I make mistakes. So it's been a longer video than I intended, but it's something really close to me, and I'm thinking a lot about what have we done? What can we do better? What direction is it going? If you're in our team and you got any ideas on that, bring them to me. We love to hear them. I'd love to hear your thoughts about what we do, how we do it, where we're going, and where you think it might be a good direction to go for you personally. So, thank you very much for your time. I hope you've taken the time to watch the whole video. I love you. It's Kelwin Hagan again with the Internet Lifestyle Network and HaganInternational.info. Look me up on Facebook at Kelwin Hagan and come see me. Come talk to me. If you like what you heard and you like real, true, unsheltered, unhidden, straight up partnership, mentoring, and coaching, I would love to talk to you and see whether or not we're a fit. Peace.